Okay, we are back from taking a look at the cadaver, if you will, and we are in studio, Kiss FM, with Rick Dyer, the best, I got it, best Bigfoot tracker, who shot a Bigfoot in East Texas, correct?
That is correct.
So we've looked at the body and everything like that, and I know I said, hey, I'm probably going to ask you every question we just asked you again. Tell us some things about this body that makes it not a hoax. Tell us some things about it that like what you were telling us out there, what makes it the real deal?
The real deal is I shot and killed Bigfoot, and I'm not bringing you a piece of hair. I'm not bringing you a piece of meat. I'm bringing you the complete body. And like you can look through the hair and you can see the redness of the skin, and you can see the pores, and you can see the moles. It just can't be faked, and if it could, it's not in my budget.
And it's a lot of attention to detail, I would say as well. If it was hoaxed, it was very well paid attention to. You had some other things that you had mentioned. You said you were contacted by museums and places like that, and you told them, no, I'm taking it to the public first.
Well, actually, what happened is we were contacted by a company that does museum exhibits.
Okay.
And what happened is we signed on with them to do the museum exhibits, but it's 18 months down the road. Mm-hmm. And that's how long it takes to get prepared for a rolling exhibit. Okay. that travels the world. And this is not going to be any Mickey Mouse exhibit like people would say that I'm doing now. Mm-hmm. But the only reason I did this is so the people can see it. The people can see it. $10 is nothing compared to what you're going to pay $85, $105 at a rolling exhibit show.
Right, right.
And they didn't want me to do it. No one wanted me to take this on the road, but I wanted the people to see it first. I wanted the people to see it that wouldn't usually see it at a museum, because my friends won't go to a museum and see it.
And spend $80.
Exactly. And that's why.
Okay. And I'm sure, as you imagine, going to be a couple of easy questions, probably a couple of tough questions, so compare $10 to, let's say, the $10 million deal that Spike TV has up for right now. Why aren't you doing that right now?
I contacted them.
Okay.
And I asked them to send a doctor out, send someone out to verify it, but bring me my check when you do. Mm-hmm. And they responded to me, well, congratulations on killing the Bigfoot, but the offer was only for our show. Like, you had to be a contestant on our show, which I was contacted earlier that year to be a contestant, but I turned it down because the way that they was going to do it is ridiculous. You can't just get 50 people in a dang cabin and give them 2 square miles to go out and find Bigfoot.
Right.
It's a joke.
So you contacted Spike TV.
Oh, absolutely.
Told them I have a Bigfoot.
Dean Cain.
You got that $10 million bounty up.
Dean Cain.
And they did not come.
They did not come.
And they said you do not qualify.
Exactly.
You just dropped you saw my jaw drop right there,
yeah,
right?
That
wow. That just blows my mind right there. Okay. Dude, that shocks me a lot. That shocks me a lot. So, tell us a little bit about the tour that you're on now. You're taking it to the public. You're taking it everywhere. The goal of the tour, completely.
The goal of the tour is to let people make up their own minds. They're adults. I'm not trying to force anything on no one. Mm-hmm. Let them come out, see it, make up their own minds. And then later on down the road, then they will see, hey, I just saw a real Bigfoot.
Okay. And when it comes to, I'm just going off assumption here. When it comes to, the real money, You're waiting until after the tour
Exactly.
to make that.
This is not about money. This is just getting gas money to get to the next city. That's it. And getting food, and that's it. This is about bringing it to the people, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Well, now, as you know, a lot of people, and you know what? I'll say one thing to you, Rick. If you don't have haters, you're doing something wrong. You got to have people that are hating on you. Me, Tommy the hacker, we've got haters. And I've had to remind him, dude, if you don't have someone telling you they hate you every once in a while, you better get someone telling you they hate you because you're doing something wrong. So you got some people that say bad things about you.
Oh my gosh, I have people that say a lot of bad things about me, but that only gives me more attention. And Ronald Reagan once said, "It doesn't matter what they say about you, as long as they spell your name correctly." Mm-hmm. And so far, they've been spelling my name correctly. And for all the people who don't like haters, who don't want haters, that's okay. Send them to me. I will take them.
We always say, good or bad, you're talking about us, aren't you?
Exactly.
A lot of people say things, he's a known hoaxer, but then you got people saying, hey, I spent hours looking at it. This thing's the real deal, Then people are like, oh, he's a con artist. Science is done by science, not tours, not stuff like that, just so much. There's so many mixed reviews that I'm seeing on this thing, and then there's one that came out of San Antonio, where this Shermer person said that they're a skeptic and called it. They said, I have 3 words: fake, fake, fake. What do you say to that right there?
That is their opinion, and the people that saying fake, fake, fake has never seen the body. Has seen pictures on the internet, has never felt the Bigfoot's presence. And there is a presence. And
I'm sure there's a smell too.
Oh, yeah, especially when the trailer is locked up for a couple of days in the heat. So, yeah, there is definitely a smell to it.
That's what. So the people, these guys didn't see the Bigfoot.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Now, you shot the Bigfoot, right?
Correct.
Where'd you shoot it at?
I shot it 3 times. I shot it once in the back, once in the back of the neck, and once in the thigh area.
So back of the neck, back and thigh area. What'd you shoot it with?
30-06 model 710.
Now, are there the wounds there to see?
No.
I was going to say, because when I looked at it, I don't remember seeing that.
It's taxidermied. And the wounds for the nose, you could see the slit when you look at the nose. Mm-hmm. And as far as the back wound, it came out around the autopsy wound. So if you really look, you can basically see it.
Okay. Because, I'm sitting here thinking, 30-06, one heck of an exit wound, and I was looking for it,
Not really.
Because, see, my 308 makes one heck of an exit wound.
Well, if you look on YouTube and stuff, and a lot of people have said the same thing that you said, and a guy was on my side, and he shot a dead deer live on camera, and it didn't leave hardly any exit wound. You had to move the hair to find the exit wound from a 30-06.
Just a clean through shot.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And again, you knew you were going to ask some tough questions. We're helping bring to light.
There's no tough questions when you're telling the truth.
I like the way you think. All right. Well, then let's continue, shall we? Okay. So we've covered the shooting. We've covered the history. People think they call you a con artist and stuff like that. And let's talk about that history real quick.
Sure.
Because my understanding is you have a story to tell because of the hoax that did take place in 2000, and was it 2008?
2008.
So, real quick, if I could just preface on my understanding, or at least what I read, you found a dead body, but it was taken from you.
Correct.
Go ahead and tell us what happened.
It was in Fall Creek Falls, Tennessee, and we found a dead Sasquatch by a stream while we were hiking. We hauled it out of the woods, and we started to make YouTube videos boasting about it and just teasing the Bigfoot community. And when we started to do that, the haters came out of the woodwork. Like, we really and truly had a body in 2008, but they were calling us frauds and this and that, and we didn't understand that. And then the government, I guess, saw the videos that we were making, and they came and they threatened us, and they took the body, they took the videos, they took the photos, and we were scared.
Okay.
And but we still opened our mouth enough that we had to come up with something, and that's the last ditch effort: buying a $400 costume, putting roadkill in it, taking pictures of it, and we was going to just have it disappear after that. And that didn't work. Someone wanted more money, and once they wanted more money, or they would go to the media, that he didn't get that money, and he went straight to the media.
So why do you think the government took it? I mean, you think what do you think
they were trying to cover it up.
And you know, to preface on that, I watch a lot of H2, you know, and I do believe in government cover-ups. I do. I think they do try to hide a lot of stuff from us, you know. So the reason you did the hoax in 2008 was because you had a real one. You'd already started something. You wanted to finish it, basically.
I wanted to finish it and make it go away, but it did the exact opposite, and it made me look like a fool. It just, my reputation went down the toilet there, and I wanted nothing more but to find one, because I knew they existed then. Before I didn't, but after I found them and touched them, I knew they existed, and if they existed, I knew that they could be killed.
So is that why is that what made you pursue finding one?
Yes, I haven't had a job since 2008, and I have been putting all my savings, all my money, all my investors' money to finding this beast. And luckily, I found him, and I killed him.
So 4 years you spent after this, solid, looking, purposely just out everywhere for a Bigfoot.
And I was the only one that has ever did that.
Okay.
Other people say they do it, but they don't. I spent every dime I had to try to find this beast. And to give you an example, I was in Florida in 2011 looking for the skunk ape, and my motorhome burned up on I-4, destroying all my motorhome, destroying my trailer, destroying my car behind it. And the Bigfoot community did not say that I was on a 34-city tour trying to find Bigfoot. They said, ha, 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 his motorhome burned up.
Okay.
I never get any recognition for the stuff that I do, and I do more before 8 o'clock in the morning regarding Bigfoot than people do all week.
Have people ever asked you what makes you lucky enough to have found one and then have found another one?
Because I look. They don't. They think that they can go in the woods a couple of days, 20 foot in the woods, and camp out and talk about Bigfoot and stuff, and that's hunting. That's not hunting. You've got to go and become one with the woods.
And is that did you live in the woods?
I lived in, we was scheduled to be there for 10 days. And we were scheduled to go after that to Northern California. And on the 6th day, I shot and killed Bigfoot.
And in East Texas,
correct,
of all places.
Correct.
And some people would say, well, that's like the least likely place that you would find one. But I'm a Texan. I know there's wilderness out there. So not gonna. I have nothing against that. Because I know there's lots of wilderness, lots of hunting that goes out of there in East Texas. So to the people that say, well, why East Texas? I mean, I say, why not East Texas? You know. Okay, so a little bit more here, and these are some questions that I had sent in by some listeners and stuff that were curious about things and everything.
Sure.
So
any questions is okay.
One of them is they were looking at the pictures and they said, why are his feet covered up?
The reason why the feet and hands are covered up, because I want to release everything in Houston at the Alamo Draft House that we are booked for, and it's either sold out or nearly sold out.
Okay.
At the Alamo Draft House, both showings.
Okay. There's a gentleman who does a blog spot. I can't remember what it's on, but I was reading it, and his claim is that at first the photos, when they were released, it showed everything. And he said that it showed that they located what were called bubbles in the feet and hands. And that's after that you covered it up. Did you ever release photos that showed the feet and hands?
The Telemundo released a quick clip, which they paid dearly for. But that's about it. And everything will be released in Houston, and it's going to be the same feet, the same everything. It's just that.
Okay.
But they will say anything to try to discredit me. These same people have destroyed my cars at my house, has slit my tires, has thrown lacquer thinner on my Corvette.
Do you feel like people personally attack you? I mean, not only by saying he's a known con artist and scammer, but do you feel like people personally attack you?
Oh, they attack me. They attack my wife. They attack my kids. They attack everything, man. And it's not because of what they think is a hoax. It's not because of 2008. It is because they're jealous. It is because they have no life. It's like a pack of dogs. When one gets started, all the lonely people come together and attack one person. And me, when they do violent stuff, yeah, that gets to me a little bit. But when they call the radio stations and complain, and my next venue and complain, that makes me happy, because that just makes the venue want me even more.
Right. So the personal attacking, you think, is a result of the fact that they're jealous because they didn't find it, something like that.
Well, it's more than that. They're just lonely people that maybe were picked on in school, and now it's their turn to pick on someone else. And that's why they go by fake names and won't show their face. And these are the same people that come up to me whenever I stop and tell me how great a job I'm doing. They're keyboard bullies. That's all.
We call those e-thugs.
E-thugs.
E-thugs, internet thugs. Now, one person says that you said you shot him in the head 3 times, but apparently that differs from what you just told us.
I have never said I shot him in the head 3 times. Okay. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, because that does not match up with anything you just said.
But what I did say earlier on, because I was under non-disclosure agreements from September on, and the non-disclosure, I couldn't tell what really happened. So at that point, I wanted people to know that I've done something spectacular. So I released variant different things from the start. But I also said from the start that I may tell you some lies. The story may not be all matched up from the start, but at the end of the day, I will show you a real Bigfoot body. And that's what I did. I was on the borderline of breaking in NDAs because I wanted people to know Rick Dyer shot it. I wanted my redemption. And I like messing with the haters a little bit too.
And trust me, I understand confidentiality agreements to the fullest. I know what that's like right there. And you know, again, in the end, as with anything, it's for someone to make up their own mind.
Exactly.
And no one, you know, despite what anyone says or any question I'm going to ask you, no one can take away from you how you feel and what you what you did. So let's just ask a couple more here. Let's see here. These really ain't that good right here. Nothing really blowing my mind here. You know, I got to say the thing that blows my mind the most is the Spike TV thing. You know, I can't believe that you contacted them, and they wouldn't come to you. That just makes zero sense to me.
Look. They don't care about finding Bigfoot, and they know that they won't find Bigfoot, and they set themselves up for failure. That's what they do.
A rating exploit is what it is.
Exactly.
So
if they want to find a live Bigfoot, talk to Rick Dyer.
Now, let me ask you one thing, and this is a personal question that I thought of. And now, even with the information you just gave me about Spike TV, I don't think everyone knows what you just said about the Spike TV $10 million deal. You know, like me, they thought, hey, you got a Bigfoot, you got $10 million bucks. It's like you're rolling around with $10 million. You know, why don't you have 50 security guards rolling with you?
Can't afford it, and I want to be on the road. I have one security here, and he's a pretty big guy, and no one would want to mess with the body. Trust me. And if you look on my motor coach, it has cameras all the way around it, and we are watching it all the time. When someone walks in front of the camera in our motor coach, an alarm will sound.
Really?
And we have motion detectors and everything on the motor coach. So as far as someone getting the body or stealing it, that's not an issue. That won't happen.
Okay. That was something that I had a question of my own.
Sure.
You know, that was mine. So to kind of seal this deal up, you know, some people. No matter what just was said, no matter what questions were asked and what answers were given, people are gonna believe the way they believe.
Exactly.
You can't convince somebody, and even for some people, seeing it still won't convince them. You know, some people could still, you know, call it a fraud. You know, they could point out things. You know, I have questions, but the fact that it was taxidermied, you know, I can't get an answer to them if it was taxidermied. You know. You know, like I noticed the nostrils were plugged. Well, if it was taxidermy, that makes sense. It's probably plugged up with a glue or a resin of some sort.
Exactly.
So, to wrap this up, what do you want the people to know?
I want the people to know that it will be proven real by the end of the tour, and I want people to have a chance to come out and see it. And to know in their mind there's a possibility that it's real. I know it's real. My team knows it's real. The university knows it's real. But I'm giving everyone the opportunity to come out and make up their own minds. But I want them to come out because at the end of the day, it's going to be proven real, and you will be the first ones to see a real Bigfoot, not no phony costume or blurry photo or a piece of hair. This is Bigfoot, and I killed him.
And what is that date you said again in Houston that it will all be revealed?
24th and 25th, the hands and feet and the 3D optical scan, which you saw, will be revealed.
And you said that we're expecting a skeleton structure as well, correct?
We are expecting a skeleton, but I don't know if it's going to be done in time for Houston because they're putting it in a case and making it look nice. And it's got to withstand a 5.0 earthquake, because that's what a motorhome is, is a rolling 5.0 earthquake.
Understood. Well, you know, I'll tell you, and you know, everyone's going to have their own opinion, and again, just make up your own mind. You know, I'm not gonna confirm or deny anything. I saw it. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I can't say yes. I can't say no. You know, Rick. What I would say to you is, I tell people that I've seen a UFO, they think I'm crazy, and I know I saw a UFO. I know I did. I've seen a couple, and people want to tell them that they think I'm crazy. So I know what it's like. I do. I really understand that. And now, as we wrap this up, I do have a little bit of news. We don't have the insurance to cover you guys having him in our parking lot. You're in Amarillo. Where are you heading now?
Well, we thought we was going to be here, but we will also be at the Cadillac Ranch.
You heard it yourself. There you go. The Bigfoot tracker, Rick Dyer. It's KISS FM.